I started using a weekly glycolic peel. It comes in a box like this by Perfect Image, if you want to see it this way. It's a 30% glycolic peel, and I'll link in the description box below to where you can get it. I took this on advice from Elle is for Living, and I'm liking how it's working now. I have sensitive skin, so I started it off really slowly. And actually before that, I tested it. So it comes in a bottle like this with a dropper. It actually smells pretty good. It has a little bit of a light fruity smell. So I tested it by putting just a couple drops on my hand and by putting it in a couple places on my face. So I know in here is the most sensitive. So I think I did one dot in my most sensitive area, one on the forehead, one in the cheek over here, and maybe one down here. And I only left it on for 30 seconds. Then I rinsed it off and then waited another week. Actually, you want to wait and see if you have a bad reaction to it within 24 hours, and I didn't. So I started it a week later, and I started at only 20 seconds. And then every week I increased it by 10 seconds till I was up to a minute. So 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, the full minute. Once I was at the full minute, then every week I increased it by 15 seconds. So I'm now up to 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Let me put on my glasses to tell you what it does. So this is meant to take away the dark spots on your face. Actually, it's not on the outside of the box. So in their description, they say Perfect Image offers safe, effective, and affordable alternatives to improve the texture of the skin without the extreme risk and high cost of surgery. A chemical peel is a non-surgical cosmetic procedure which uses a chemical solution to peel, and peels in double quotes, away or remove the outer epidermis to improve the appearance of scars, wrinkles, hyperpigmentation, acne, and many other skin disorders and blemishes associated with aged skin. So my skin never actually peeled. It's probably doing it at a microscopic level. So they have all kinds of instructions, and I even called them once, and they were really helpful on the phone. Typically, you're not going to find a 30% glycolic gel peel like this that's that high to use on your own. So you have to be really careful, of course. So I only use it on my face. I'm not using it on my chest right now or my hands. And I suggest that you do this in the bathroom and either bring in your phone that has an app on it with a countdown, or bring in some kind of watch or clock that has a second hand and keep an eye on it. Now, it says here in the instructions to rinse it off, but I actually use a washcloth, and I start with cool water, patting different areas of my face 2 or 3 times. Then the other thing I use to help neutralize it, I bring into the bathroom with me a half a cup of water mixed with a half a teaspoon of baking soda. It actually feels good. So after I rinse it with plain water with the washcloth, I take the folded washcloth and I pour some of the baking soda water on the washcloth and then just pat it on my skin all over until I'm out of water. And by the time I'm out of that half cup of water, my skin is feeling better. So what's the feeling before that? It's a feeling of a little bit of a burning sensation, I would say, tingling and getting into burning. That's how it feels. And my skin is definitely red looking after I finish rinsing. Then I pat it dry. And then after that, the only 2 things I put on, and I do this at night, is some oil. I'm using one of the Timeless oils. I put a little bit of that in my hand generously, and I slather that all over my face, and then I use a moisturizer. Now, when you're using something like this weekly, you really, really, really need to use an excellent sunscreen every day. Even if it's winter, even if it's cloudy outside, you've got to be using a really good sunscreen that has both the UVB blocker and a UVA blocker. My favorite UVA blocker is titanium dioxide. That's why I like the sunscreens that Paula's Choice sells, because in her line she has all different kinds of sunscreens for different types of skin. She even has a men's line. Now what I do is I take the dropper and I put a few drops, maybe 2 drops on the palm of my hand, and then I take these 2 fingers, dab it in there, and I start with the least sensitive skin for me, which is down here, the second least sensitive skin, which is the forehead, the third least sensitive skin, which is my nose, and the most sensitive skin, which is in here. And then after it's on there, the clock starts ticking. I wash my hands, dry them off, and by then I figure it's been on my face for 15 seconds, and then I watch the time closely. I think 1 week I might have missed because I was really, really red, and I thought, I don't know what I'm doing here. So don't miss your time. And then as soon as the time is up, I take that folded washcloth and get it under some cool water. Warm doesn't really feel good after this. Cool is great. And remove it. So I think it's making my skin a little more smooth. It does say in here if you use beta hydroxy to stop using that. I think it's no more than 48 hours before. So I do beta hydroxy 3 nights a week. I also called them to find out if I could use the vitamin C serum the next morning, and they said yes. So that's okay. So I'm liking it. You might want to give it a try. You know, go through 1 bottle. This bottle, it's going to last me a long time because already it's only down to here because I only use, you know, those couple 2 or 3 drops a week. So I'll be using it all winter 2015 into 2016, and I'm sure it'll bring me into spring, and we'll see. It does start to bring out some dark spots at first. I notice more showing, but that's just part of the process. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.